Did you know that based on research, recovering from a strong emotional reaction caused by a social media post can take up to half an hour? When we are extremely enraged, shocked or ecstatic, it can be difficult to even focus on whether what we encountered is actually true. Instinctively, we would just want to share the information fast with everyone. But that's where there is a problem. Those who spread disinformation, which is information that has been intentionally altered to mislead, usually try to appeal to people's emotions because in the middle of an emotional reaction it is difficult to take a step back and to reason. If we don't stop to take a breath, evaluate and check facts, we easily end up spreading lies. And that can increase hate speech, cause violence, weaken democracy and erode trust in the media. And just bother and complicate our everyday life. Social media is designed in such a way that content that evokes strong emotional reaction spreads faster than content that is factual, more neutral or drier in its tone. Because of that, it's extremely important that we notice ourselves when we are at the risk of being fooled. Disinformation is in fact such a big problem that not only everyday people are fighting against it, but also civil society groups, states and the European Union. The EU has, for example, created rules for social media platforms to make sure they would tackle the spread of disinformation and minimize the spread of misleading information and news. The EU also funds projects that promote media literacy and tackle disinformation. But institutions cannot solve everything, right? That's why we need our own critical thinking. The first trick to avoid being fooled is to stop to reflect as soon as something triggers a strong emotional reaction. Researchers at Stanford University have formed 3 questions we should always ask ourselves before believing a claim and spreading it around. Who made the claim? What evidence has been presented to support the claim? And what do other sources say about it? Well, let's start checking the claim. The claim was sent to us by our friend, and even if friends are usually smart, they are not always right either. That's why it pays off to do a bit more research. The link the friend sent shows that the news was published by Yahoo News. It's a relatively reliable news site, but it's good to remember that even reliable sources make mistakes sometimes. Okay, what proof has been presented to support the claim? First of all, the news was old. It was published back in 2011. There is no specific evidence in the text. It mainly shows that the news was originally published by The Telegraph. Since it is difficult to find evidence for this, let's move on to the third point. What do other sources say about this? It seems that the news was not correct. It was a misunderstanding. The EU's revised toy directive required balloon packaging to state that balloons should only be inflated by children under the age of 8 under adult supervision. At no point there was EU banning children from blowing up balloons.